Should there be an Oscar category to recognize performances that may have qualified as a cameo? Hey, it's Michael, aka Oscar Man. And many of you have suggested that some nominees and winners with short amounts of screen time shouldn't compete in the supporting categories, instead, be recognized for their cameo appearances. I want to explore that idea. And so I'll present performances that were on screen for a maximum of 5% of the entire film's running time, and then ask you to decide whether the actors should remain in the supporting category or should they have been designated as a nominee in a fictitious cameo category. Interestingly, the contenders are completely lopsided based on gender. There are so far only two supporting actor nominees who qualify, and I'll cover them later. But Best Supporting Actress has lots of candidates. So I'll begin with Talia Shire in 1974's The Godfather Part 2.
It means we should all live happily for 100 years. The family. It would be true if my father were alive. Honey.
Merle, you've met my sister-in-law, Diana. Fredo's wife.
My pleasure.
How do you do? My pleasure.
Ma chiste due sulle precise.
Ma,
Mama.
Shire's screen time was 4.93%. Now, yes, I know some of you will bring up the fact that comparing 5% in a 90-minute film to one in a 3-hour plus film is not equitable. I get it, trust me. Now, as Connie Corleone, Shire received the first of her two nominations, the other one being lead actress in 1976's Rocky. So what do you think? Supporting actress or cameo? One of the few winning performances here is, of course, Judi Dench for 1998's Shakespeare in Love.
And your error, Mr. Tilney, is easily forgiven. But I know something of a woman and a man's profession. Yes, by God, I do know about that. That is enough from you.
And though Dame Judi thought she was in the film for 8 minutes, as she stated in her acceptance speech, her total time was only less than 6 minutes. An 8-time nominee, Judi Dench's Oscar-winning role was on screen for 4.75%. Should she have been a supporting actress winner, or was this a cameo? Legendary actress Ruby Dee actually won the Screen Actors Guild Award for her brief appearance in the 2007 film American Gangster.
I ain't gonna shoot no. I promise you, I ain't gonna shoot no.
I never asked you where all this came from because I didn't want to hear you lie.
I don't want you to worry about it. Now, come on, I got to go.
Don't lie to me. Don't do that. Do you want to make things so bad for your family that they'll leave you?
No.
Because they will.
I understand.
She will leave you.
All right.
I will leave you.
Her role as Denzel Washington's mother consisted of a couple of scenes, and the part, which was 12th billed, had one of the smaller screen times at 3.93%. I think this one was a cameo. Your thoughts? Oscar winner Holly Hunter is one of a handful of actresses nominated for lead and supporting in the same year. In 1993's The Firm, Hunter, as the secretary to a private investigator, received a Best Supporting Actress nomination for 4.79% screen time.
I gotta get these out to the boat. The boat? What boat? Oh, man. Later on, there's some stuff I gotta tell you about what Mitch is doing.
Tell me now, Tammy, what?
Get the damn keys back in his pants and get out of there before he wakes up.
Hunter's character had a pivotal role in the plot, but was it a supporting one or an important cameo? In a prior video, I discussed how studio interference resulted in the truncated performance given by Ethel Barrymore in 1947's The Paradigm Case.
I shouldn't be telling you this, but I do so dread it when he has to take a murder trial. He comes home looking so...
Yes, I can well imagine. There must be a terrible nervous strain trying a capital charge.
Yes, that's it. That's very comforting.
Anyone who has seen the film knows what I'm talking about. She's barely in it and has little to do. Because Academy voters likely saw the uncut version, Barrymore was nominated as Lady Sophie Horfield. I think I know the answer to this one, but I'll still ask. Was Barrymore's role, consisting of 3.38% on screen, a supporting one or a cameo? In 1976's All the President's Men, Jane Alexander had what I call an Oscar scene, which likely propelled the four-time nominee to her first in supporting.
I thought it was all legal. I mean, I guess I did until after the break-in when I remembered Gordon got so much of it.
This is Mr. Liddy.
It's all so rotten. It's getting worse. And the only one I care about is Hugh Sloan. His wife was going to leave him if he didn't stand up and do what was right. So he quit.
Credited in the titles as the bookkeeper, Alexander has to date one of the smallest percentages on screen at 3.73%. Time for you to decide: a supporting performance or a strong cameo? I know which performance you're waiting for me to get to. Yes, it's the one in the same year as Alexander's, and I will, don't worry. But there are a few more I want to review. One of them is an actress who likely holds the record for having a pair of the shortest nominated performances in Oscar history. To illustrate, the total running time for both of Sylvia Miles' nominated performances is exactly 12 and a half minutes. Her first was as Cass, the hooker who tricks John Voight in 1969's Midnight Cowboy.
You were going to ask me for money. Who the hell do you think you're dealing with? Some old slut on 42nd Street? In case you didn't happen to notice it, you big Texas longhorn bull. I'm one hell of a gorgeous chick.
Well, now, Cass,
you
take
heard
it
it.
easy now.
At 28 years old, you think you can come up here and pull this kind of crap up here? Well, you're out of your mind.
Now, come on,
I can
now.
just kill you with my bare hands. Where do you get out of here? Where do you get out of here?
The percentage of screen time for Miles was 4.70%, and I'm going to come right out and state that I believe this performance was an example of a great cameo. Going back to Oscar's early days, you'll find stalwart Maria Ouspenskaya, one of the first nominees in the supporting actress category. In 1936's Dodsworth, the Russian-born actress received the first of her two nominations for her role as the Baroness.
There is the question of children, too.
Children?
Rich or poor, who should have children to carry on his name? Can you give them to him?
What makes you think I couldn't?
I'm so much older than you are, my dear. You will forgive if I observe that you are older than Kurt.
Ouspenskaya's one scene took up 4.89% of the film's total screen time. What do you think? Was this role a supporting one or a cameo? I doubt Ouspenskaya would have minded either classification. The following year, a future Oscar winner was also nominated for appearing in one scene. As I've discussed before, Claire Trevor had a scene-stealing role in 1948's Key Largo, for which she won Best Supporting Actress. In 1937's Dead End, Trevor's first nomination was for playing what we now call a sex worker.
I ain't good enough for you.
Oh, no, it ain't that.
You know, Francie, I never forgot you.
Oh, go on, you with all your fancy dames. Where do I come off?
They don't mean nothing.
That chorus girl, what's her name?
Nothing. She ain't got nothing. None of them have.
In her one scene, opposite Humphrey Bogart, Trevor's percentage was 4.76%. As with Ouspenskaya, was Trevor's role a cameo or a supporting one? At the beginning of the video, I mentioned there were only two performances in the Best Supporting Actor category, which were on screen for less than 5%. One of them was Ned Beatty, whose one scene as the chairman of the board in Network came in at 4.95%.
The world is a college of corporations, inexorably determined by the immutable bylaws of business. The world is a business.
And in 1983's Terms of Endearment, John Lithgow's turn as Sam consisted of 4.91% of the film's screen time.
You're a very rude young woman. I know Douglas from the Rotary, and I can't believe he'd want you treating customers so badly.
I don't think I was treating her badly.
Then you must be from New York.
When researching for this video, I noticed that many of the performances nominated for supporting actor were in over 50% of the film's total running time. So look for a future video where I'll present these and ask if you think they were supporting or lead roles. I can't discuss performances with small amounts of screen time without including the all-time champ, who is, of course, Hermione Baddeley in 1959's Room at the Top. Even though Baddeley's entire performance was 2 minutes and 19 seconds, she actually appeared in 3 scenes.
Of course, I don't blame her. You're the sort of man I like. Too many pansies about these days. I knew a lot of real men once. They're all dead now, and a little mess like me carries on. Do you love Alice?
Yes.
I thought so. She's crazy about you. You know that, I suppose. She doesn't know it herself yet. Don't hurt her, Joe. Don't ever hurt her.
Nominated for her part as Elspeth, which consisted of 1.98% of the film's running time, I think we're going to be divided on this one, given some of the comments I've received from those of you who think she not only deserved the nomination, but should have won. I think this was a cameo. Enlighten me. A couple of performances in films that were both over 3 hours long include Oscar winner Mercedes McCambridge receiving her second nomination for 1956's Giant. Her screen time was 5.29%.
This rich Texas air will fix you up. Don't you worry none about being lonesome. I'm gonna round up your neighbors. You're gonna meet some folks. Yes, indeed. You're gonna meet some folks.
And one of my favorites, Maureen Stapleton, finally won Best Supporting Actress on her 4th try for 1981's Reds. For me, Stapleton stood out in every film she appeared, and as Emma Goldman, her scenes totaled 4.74% of the film's running time.
Soviets have no more local autonomy. The central state has all the power. All the power is in the hands of a few men, and they are destroying the revolution. They are destroying any hope of real communism in Russia. They're putting people like me in jail. My understanding of revolution is not a continual extermination of political dissenters, and I want no part of it. Every single newspaper's been shut down or taken over by the party. Anyone even vaguely suspected of being a counter-revolutionary can be taken out and shot without a trial. Where does that end? Is any nightmare justifiable in the name of defense against counter-revolution? The dream may be dying in Russia, but I'm not. It may take some time. I'm getting out.
There's one more performance that squeaked past the 5% mark, and that was given by the incomparable Geraldine Page. The versatile actress received 8 nominations in her career, splitting them evenly in the lead and supporting categories for both her dramatic and comedic performances. In her 2 scenes as Mrs. Ritter in 1984's The Pope of Greenwich Village, Page took 5.06% of the film's screen time to deliver one of her signature scene-stealing performances.
Yeah, I bet it's important. That it's very important to the two of you. The internal affairs people were here hours ago. 2 college-educated little pricks. Acted like they was born and bred in Ohio. I'm going to tell you when I told them Walter neither drank nor gambled. He disapproved of the lottery. His spare time was spent making novenas over at the Sacred Heart.
Now, whether or not you're a fan of the Oscar-winning acting legend, was this supporting actress nomination worthy or a great cameo? We're about to dissect that performance, which is mentioned the most when the topic of short amount of screen time in supporting roles is brought up. But first, let me take this opportunity to show my gratitude to each of you for watching this video. As you know, I love talking about the Oscars, and creating these videos gives me the chance to share my thoughts with a community of people who offer such wonderful perspectives that have helped me to understand these awards and films in general. When the video concludes with a moment from an Oscar nominee, I would really appreciate it if you would click on the like button. As a subscriber, you'll be joining our Oscar nerd family, and your input on the weekly videos and daily polls will be really helpful.
Say it. Don't keep telling me that you're obsessed, that you're infatuated. Say that you're in love with her.
I'm in love with her.
Get out! Go anywhere you want. Go to a hotel. Go live with her, but don't come back.
Okay, here are the stats. 5 minutes and 2 seconds. 4.15% on screen. 3 days on set in 3 scenes. The shortest performance to win an Oscar in any category. Beatrice Straight had appeared in 5 films before her Oscar-winning role as the scorned wife of William Holden in Network. With over 15 credits on Broadway and more than 50 television appearances, Beatrice Straight's history-making win is perhaps the hallmark for how a small supporting performance or cameo appearance can still be remembered at Oscar time. I can't wait to see how you're going to assess this one. Besides the performances mentioned here, which other ones nominated as supporting do you think may have been better designated as a cameo? Your contributions are always appreciated. And until the next video, I'll leave you with this.
Pardon me, ma'am. I'm brand spanking new in this here town. I was hoping to get a look at Statue of Liberty.
Hoping to get a look at what?
Statue of Liberty.
It's up in Central Park taking a leak. If you hurry up, you'll catch the supper show.